Welcome back to my channel, Art with Ray. I am Ray and I'm here to bring you another product review. Today's product review is artPOP's acrylic paint set, 24 colors. According to artPOP's website, this set is originally $50, but at the time of this recording, it is half price for $25, which is a great deal on a set of 24 paints. The colors that are included in the set are carbon black, titanium white, dioxazine violet. It says violet, but it is dioxazine. Quinacridone rose, lemon yellow, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, vermilion red, silver, orange yellow, naphthol red, Prussian green, gold, what else? Crimson red, cerulean blue, cobalt blue, Prussian blue, emerald green, cool gray, and I left one. Oh, where's the other one? I'm missing. Oh, and brilliant green, which is kind of like a phthalo green with a little bit of titanium white in it. It's a pretty color. So let's talk a little bit about the color range. This has the most perfect color range in a set of 24 acrylics that I have seen in a very long time. A lot of companies will throw in primary red, primary blue, primary yellow, and then a bunch of colors that they just kind of want you to see if you like. And I mean, they're great or whatever, but they're not really functional. This gives you the colors that you need, or actually, that I should say that I need, that I use on a regular basis in order to mix other colors. Um, Whether you know it or not, red, yellow, and blue do not make every single color out there. They do not. There are color biases and all of that. Within paints, that works fine for light. It does not work fine for pigment. So the colors that I always use and always have in my arsenal, they literally have every single one of those colors in this set, which is really hard to find a set of 24 paints that have all of the colors that you're looking for. It's really not easy to do. So let me just quickly tell you the colors that I use, that I have in my palette all of the time, and they are in this set. So I always use two reds, a warm red and a cool red. They have a couple of warm reds. I like their vermilion red. For the cool red, quinacridone rose is what they're giving you here. I usually use quinacridone magenta. It's almost exactly the same color, so it's perfect. Those are the reds. For the yellows, the warmer yellow is Hansa Yellow Medium. They also give you a yellow ochre. We're going to get to that in a minute. And then the warmer yellow, the cooler yellow is lemon yellow. So you get the two, again, the two primary colors. We call them a split primary. And for blues, we get ultramarine blue, which is the warmer blue, and phthalo blue, which is the colder blue, the cooler blue. With these six colors here, you can literally make almost pretty much every color. And then, of course, always black. This is carbon black, which is actually quite good. I usually use Mars black, but this is quite good. And of course, you get titanium white. These are the minimum of what I use. But all of these colors here are always on my palette. Now, I use other colors also, which I call convenience colors, which most of you do. And those are colors that I can make myself, but I don't want to. And they also provide all of the colors that I would use as my convenience colors. Violet, dioxazine purple, brilliant green, which again is basically a phthalo green. It has a little titanium white in it, so it's slightly lighter than a phthalo green, but it works. You can add a little black to it and make it a little darker if you want. Yellow ochre, which I just mentioned. Always have this around. And then two browns, and that would be burnt umber and burnt sienna. 99.999% of the time, these colors are always with me, always. So the fact that artPOP did provide all of the colors that you need in order to mix other colors is phenomenal. I was really impressed by that because I've bought other sets 12 sets, 24 sets, in which they will give you, like I said, primary red, primary yellow, primary blue, and then a bunch of colors that are nice, but not necessarily anything that I would normally use, or that would be really that would really allow me to mix my own colors successfully. Um, if you were to mix a vermilion red and an ultramarine blue, guess what? You're never going to get purple ever, because the vermilion red is a warmer red, has orange in it, which would be yellow. Red and yellow make orange, and ultramarine blue has red in it. So when you're looking at this, you have red, blue, red, orange. I mean, red and yellow. So you've got red, yellow, and blue. What happens when you mix red, yellow, and blue together? You get gray or brown or a weird black. You're never going to be able to make purple, ever, with a warm red and a warm blue. It's not going to happen. But on the other hand, if you have a cooler red, quinacridone rose, and you mix it with a cooler blue, phthalo blue, you are going to get purple. You are definitely going to get purple. So, so the first thing I want to do is take a look at the tube, and I can show you there's a lot of information on the tubes. So if you look here, this is vermilion red. If you turn the tube over, it gives you some information. So it gives you vermilion red, it gives you the pigment number, which is PR4. Over here, it gives plus signs. This is the light pass rating. So they do work off of the European model, in which 3 stars is the most light fast, and 1 star would be the least. The ASTM is the opposite. 1 star is best, 3 stars is the least. So 3 star rating is the highest light fast rating. So this one happens to have that. And it also gives you an idea of whether or not it's opaque. So if there is a square and it is filled in, it is opaque. If there is a square like here that's half filled in, it's semi-opaque. If it's an open square, and I don't know if I have here in front of me anything that has an open square, but if it does, then it's, oh yeah, ultramarine blue has an open square, or it looks to be an open, yeah. So this would be translucent. So you get the idea of how that works. So what I want to do first is take these colors, because these are important. Actually, I'm going to remove the brilliant green, the yellow ochre, the burnt umber, the burnt sienna for now, because they're kind of my afterthought colors. But I'm going to leave the violet, and we're going to use 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of these colors. And the first thing I want to test is their opacity. So I did take a Sharpie marker and just made a black line. What we're going to do is we are going to check out the opacity and see how well the opacity works in these paints. So I'm going to squeeze some out. These are heavy body paint, which I absolutely love heavy body paint. You're going to see how thick the paint is. Now, this titanium white is almost empty, because titanium white is a color you will use a lot. There's titanium white. This is carbon black. And then we'll go here. We'll start with vermilion red on this side. Ooh, that squeezed out a little too much. Okay, we'll use it though. Quinacridone rose we'll do next. Yeah, we'll use quinacridone rose next. Here we go. Do that. We'll throw in the violet next to that. Dioxazine purple. Then we will use ultramarine blue. Okay. Phthalo blue. Sorry, an alarm went off. Okay, that's phthalo blue. Then we will use the yellows. And we'll start with the lemon yellow here. And finally, the Hansa Yellow Medium. Again, you can see as I put them in, they're holding their shape for the most part. So they are pretty heavy bodied, which is nice. I am going to be using a number 6 round. This is actually one of their brushes. They sent me a 7 brush set. They are awesome, and I want to put a whole video on that. So let me just get the brush a little wet. That's the other thing. These do hold up to water pretty well, where some do not. Some paints do not. These do hold up to water pretty well. So let's start with the titanium white, and I'm just going to take a little bit, load the brush, and let's see how opaque that is. This is a pretty dark black line, and it did okay. It didn't cover it all up, but it is a thick black line. It covered a lot of it, so probably like another layer would probably cover it. So when we go through the rest of them, I might go back and just do a second layer to see how many layers it will take to cover that black line. But that is titanium white. Next, we will use. Let's go with the red. This one again is vermilion. So it's a warmer red, has lots of yellow in it. It's a really pretty color. And let's try that. Again, it is a thick black line. The coverage isn't bad, but it's not covering it completely. And you know what? That's fairly normal. Like, it's not something that I'm overly concerned with, but it is something to look for. And the vermilion red is considered to be opaque. So that's as opaque as it's going to get. Again, we'll go back and try it again um, on a second layer, just to kind of get an idea of how long it will take. Okay, next is quinacridone rose. Okay, let's see. Now, quinacridone rose, I believe, is semi-opaque. Yeah, so it's not going to be as opaque as the other two, and you can see it's not covering at all the black line. But again, it's semi-opaque, so I'm not expecting it, especially not on the first pass, to cover up that black line. Okay, next we are going into looks like which one is that? It is the ultramarine blue. Let's see how that does. Oh no, I'm sorry. The next one is dioxazine purple. Again, on the thing it just says purple, but I did look up the pigments that they use, and the pigment is dioxazine purple. Okay, so let's see. This should probably cover the black line. Yeah, that covers the black line completely. But dioxazine purple is a very, very dark color. I mean, in some cases, will look almost black. I mean, if you're looking at it through the screen, I don't know how well you can tell through the screen. It looks almost black. And we're going to go in and we're gonna lighten it up later. But again, we're just testing for opacity. So far, the most opaque color that we have that did cover that black line in one shot is dioxazine purple. All right, next we have ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue, I believe, is completely, yeah, it is translucent. So it's clearly not going to cover that black line, especially not with one application. But let's see how it does. Okay, this is ultramarine blue. Actually, it's doing better than I thought it was going to do. It's not covering that black line completely. You can definitely see through it, but I was expecting something a lot less opaque. If you look at that and you look at quinacridone rose, even though quinacridone rose is much lighter of a color, it has a little bit. It has a higher value for opaqueness. So that's interesting. Okay, so next we are going to do phthalo blue. Now, phthalo blue is a very dark blue, and it is a cooler blue. So let's see how that one is going to work. Okay, that's really good. That covered it completely, completely. So both the dioxazine purple or the purple and the phthalo blue covered that black line in one application. That's great. We have two more colors. We're not gonna put black over black. That's just nonsense. So let's take a look at this one. Is a lemon yellow. So this one is a bright yellow. I believe. Let me just make sure it is semi-opaque. So let's see how that covers. And we know that yellow is the lightest color that we can use. So we're not expecting miracles with it to cover the black line with one shot. It's not going to happen. Yeah. It's a really pretty color, but extremely, extremely see through, translucent. But we'll see how many coats we're going to need of that. Okay. It clearly didn't cover the black line at all. And finally, we're going to check the opacity of the Hansa yellow medium, which is a little bit of a darker yellow. It's a lot warmer. So let's see how that one covers. It's still pretty translucent, and it covers just about as well as the other yellow did. Okay, so we can see that, the transparency isn't awful. Um, the opaqueness isn't really bad. I mean, it's what I kind of expect. Again, these are not professional paints. These are more studio quality. I guess like the closest match I can think of would be like Blick Studio, which I absolutely love. Um, these are thicker. These are heavy bodied. Blick Studio is more of a medium body. Okay, so let's just quickly do another coat to see how many coats we're going to need. Here's the titanium white. That's 2 coats and it's almost done. Let's try a little bit more. Okay, so 3 coats of the titanium white covers almost all of it. Let's try a 4th coat. Okay, so 4 coats of titanium white covers the black, which isn't terrible. And it is a very, very dark, thick black line. So that's 4 coats of titanium white. Pretty much covers the whole thing. All right, let's try the red. This is the vermilion. Okay, here's the 2nd coat of vermilion. And that almost covered it. Let's go in for the 3rd. And 3 coats of that basically covers the black line. So that's not too bad. Sorry, I'm rinsing and cleaning my brushes in between because I don't want to get any issue with color problems. Okay, let's do the quinacridone rose and see how many coats it's going to take of that. Okay, here's coat number 2. Still barely covering. Coat 3. Still nothing. 4. Oop. 5. All right, we're going to stop there. Clearly, you're going to need 6, 7, 8 coats of quinacridone rose in order to cover that black line. That's not an issue for me because it says that it's semi-transparent and it's a very light color. We're going to skip the purple because it's already covered in 1 coat. And we're going to go next to ultramarine blue and see how many coats it would take for ultramarine blue to cover that line. So we are right here. So this is coat 2. Okay, 2 coats. Let's just put a 3rd. Yep, 2 coats will cover it. 3 definitely covers it. We're going to skip phthalo blue because it's covered in 1 shot. Now, the yellows. The yellows are a different story. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get the yellow to cover that black line. At least I'm not going to do 6, 7, 8 passes. I'm just not going to do that. Okay, here's coat 2. Put another coat 3. Okay. Let's put a 4th coat. Okay, so the yellow, 5 coats. Okay, here's 5 coats. And I'd say after another 2 or 3, that should cover the line. Again, that's something that I'm concerned about as it's yellow. And yellow is, very difficult to cover. It's to cover anything. It's the lightest of all colors. I'm not expecting miracles. All right, and finally, let's go in with the Hansa Yellow Medium and see how many coats that might take. Okay, so here's coat 2. Okay. Let's put a 3rd coat. 4. Okay, so after 4 coats, it's pretty close. I'd say probably 2 or 3 more coats of that is going to get that black line covered. Okay, so right now, I also want to just do a little bit of a mixing with some of the colors, just so you can get an idea of how they mix together, which is important. I mean, if you mix colors, which most of us do, it's really important. So right now, let's make an orange. Let's take the vermilion red and the Hansa yellow. I should have grabbed my palette knife. Let me do that because I don't want to contaminate. All right. And the Hansa yellow. Let's put some more in here. I don't usually use this palette. I use a Stay Wet palette, but you don't feel like dealing with all that today. So I figured I'll use this one. All right, so let me grab some yellow here. Bring the red into, oh, the red is already fucking, okay. And we're gonna mix it to get an orange. So this is gonna be a bit of a brighter orange. And let's see how that looks. And here's the orange made from vermilion red and Hansa yellow medium. Looks pretty good. Let's drag in a little bit of white to see if we can get it to tint a little bit. Okay, pick up some of this mixture with the white. And this is the same colors with just a little white. It's a pretty orange. I like that orange. Okay, let's just make orange now with the other reds, with the other red and the other yellow. Just so you get an idea if you want to use um, a more cooler palette for red. So we'll take a little of the lemon yellow. And a little bit of the Quin Rose. And let's mix that up. A little bit more yellow. Okay, and let's see what kind of red this will get. I mean, what kind of orange this will give us. Okay. It's okay. It's not wonderful, but it's orange. So when you make an orange, you really want to mix a more warmer red with a more warmer yellow. You know what? We can throw a little white in there too if you want, just to see how that would look. I'm just going to use the brush because. Okay, here it is with a little bit of white. And that's, I mean, not great, but again, that's not the paint's fault. That's just the way it is. Okay, so we've made some oranges. Now let's make some greens. Okay, so we're going to start with the green. We're going to start with, um, let's do the Hansa Yellow Medium and Ultramarine Blue. Now, Ultramarine Blue and Yellow Hansa Medium. You're getting a green. It's not a very vibrant green, but it is green. Add a little white. Okay. And you're getting almost like what's that 70s called? Avocado green. Um, when you mix a warm red, I mean a warm blue with a warm yellow, you're not going to get a bright green. You're going to get a more muted green, which is really good for things like landscapes and stuff like that. But if you're looking for a bright green, you're not going to get it that way. You can add as much yellow and white as you want, and you're not going to get the look that you're looking for. So, what I would do is I would take phthalo blue. Well, let's first take lemon yellow, which we need to get more, put more here. Let's grab some lemon yellow. And some phthalo blue. Mix that. Let's grab a little more yellow. Okay, now with this, you're going to get a much brighter green. Much brighter green. Say we add a little white. And you get a really pretty soft green. Okay. And finally, let's make a purple. We're going to make it purple, and then I'm going to swatch the dioxazine purple, or like I said, what they just call purple, and we can see the difference. So let me show you how to do it the wrong way and why it doesn't work. Let's use vermilion red and ultramarine blue. Okay, so this is ultramarine blue and um, the, uh, uh, vermilion red. You're sort of getting a purple, sort of, but it isn't great. Let's grab a little white. When you do that, I don't know, you're getting kind of a washed out grayish color. So yeah, even with the just straight up, you're kind of getting purple, but you're getting a really washed out purple, which for most people is not what you're looking for. Now let's do purple, quote unquote, the right way. Okay, so we're going to take the quinacridone magenta. I'm going to put it in here. And the phthalo blue. And we're going to mix that together. A slight bit more quinacridone rose in there. Okay, when you do that, you get a gorgeous purple. That's clearly purple. You want to add a little bit more quinacridone red. You can do that. Deepen it up a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's add some white to that. Again, you're getting a nice soft purple. Huge difference between that purple that wants to be purple but isn't, and a real purple. Now I'm going to just quickly swatch next to this the purple color that they give us. Again, it says purple on the thing, but it's actually dioxazine purple. So those of you who are painters and know paint, know dioxazine purple and know what it's supposed to look like. So let me just squeeze out a tiny bit. Well, I'm sorry, they call it violet here. I'm just gonna, I'm running out of room. This is why I don't use this palette. Okay. Some water. And let's see the purple. We put this purple down. Look at that. That's a gorgeous purple. Now, like I said, dioxazine purple can almost look black sometimes. We just add a little white. When you add white to something, it often will show you the true undertone of the color. So when we add white to this, my white is just about empty. It means I have to buy a new white from you guys. Okay, so let me just add some white to this. And we can see what's going to happen. Just want to mix it really good so you can really see it. I mean, you can see it on the palette. It's a beautiful color. Okay, now here's dioxazine violet with white. Beautiful. See, this is why I always make sure that I have dioxazine violet, because, yeah, I can mix a purple, but there is nothing like the dioxazine purple or the violet. It's so beautiful. I mean, I can continue to add more white, and you can see, and it has a really high tinting strength. This is really, really nice. Here's a little bit more white. Let's add more white. Let's just see how light we can get it before it becomes all white. Okay. And a little more white. Okay. And it's starting to get like a pinky color. And let me just put the rest of the white in here just to see if I can get it to become almost white. Okay. And we can go on and on and on and on and on, but you can see the tinting strength is so strong. Some colors you mix with white and they automatically go really light. This does not. It has a very high tinting strength. So here's a little bit of white, the next amount of white, the next. I mean, I could add white to get it all the way white. You know what? Why not? Let's add the last bit of white I have here, and let's see what we can get. Okay. And it just keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. You get the idea. Okay, so do I like these paints? Absolutely. I absolutely love these paints. Again, I can kind of the closest comparisons I guess I can say would be like the Blick Studio, although these are heavy bodied and Blick Studio are medium bodied. Um, I like. Then you can also maybe kind of compare them to Liquitex Basics, but I actually prefer these way over Liquitex Basics. Um, so again, they usually run the 24 set runs for $50. They give you 24 tubes that are, I think it's 0.75 milliliter. Yes, 0.74 fluid ounces, 22 mils, which are small. But you know what? And pretty much 100% of the time when you buy sets like this, you're going to get tiny tubes. But here is the positive, the thing that I love so much. When I was on their website, they sell their colors in 120 milliliter pouches. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the paints in the pouch. It's becoming a thing. I know Sennelier abstract paints come in a pouch, and they run right now. They're on sale for $6.99 for a 120 mil at the time of this recording. So that would be a really good time to pick up a 120 mil pouch. Also, at the time of this recording, they are also doing on top of that. If you buy 6 or more, there's a coupon code, and you'll get $6 off on top of that. So that's a really good deal and free shipping. So that is an amazing deal for really, really, really good paints. I have been using artPOP. I have a small set of their colored pencils, which are great. I have the 36 set of their Infinity alcohol markers, which are great. And I really, really like them. artPOP is really good for bright, bold colors. And as you can see here, the colors are bright and bold. Even when diluted with white and some water, the colors are still bright and bold. So that's going to wrap it up for this review. Again, it's artPOP Heavy Bodied Acrylic Paint Set, 24 tubes, retails for $50, but is on sale for $25 right now at the time of this recording. In the description, I will leave a link to artPOP's website where you can purchase these paints. Also, a link to where you can also find the 120 ml pouches in case you would like to check those out. You know what? Really quickly, I forgot to just swatch the black. Here's the black. This is carbon black. Because I usually use Mars black, but I'm actually like this carbon black. This is the black. It's very dark. It's really opaque, and I put some water in this, so it's even watered down a little bit, and you can see how dark that is. Let me just go see how much I can get this to pull before it gets like crazy. That's pretty good for the little amount that I put on the brush. It does go pretty far. I mean, now we're just dry brushing because there's no wetness left to this. But I mean, for that little bit of paint, that little bit of black paint they put on here, really is going far. Okay, I gotta stop playing. So again, artPOP 24 set of acrylic paints, heavy bodied. Again, retails for $50 on their website, but at the time of this recording is going for $25 with free shipping. Also, they sell these in 120 milliliter pouches. Right now, they're on sale for $7. And also, there's a coupon code. If you buy 6 or more, you get $6 off on top of that. So I will leave all of that in the description. And hope everyone's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and happy painting.